I want you to get out of the idea, almost all of you, including myself, has an idea that our life is full of just little isolated incidences. Okay? We went and had coffee the other day at the restaurant. Isolated incident, nothing to it. I texted somebody a text message the other day. Isolated incident, nothing to it. Went to a party last weekend. Isolated incidents. Took a little trip. Worked late at the office. Went and had dinner with someone. Isolated incidences that none of them have anything to do with the other one. Okay? The devil would have each of you in here to believe that. I want you to understand that nothing could be further from the truth. Your life is like a path. And everything that you did last week has something to do with what you're doing today, and it has something to do with what you're doing tomorrow. All of it is connected with each other some way, shape, or form. Now, I want to start and just give you just an analogy here of, I'm going to use you guys for a minute, but you ladies can use this as well. But let's just say, for an instance, you're right here, and there's a new girl come to work at the office. And so what you do, you go by there innocently enough. Now, just to check and see if she's got enough paper clips. Go by her cubicle just to see. Is that a sin? No. But then you go on there and you go by again. You go by her cubicle, go right down here, you go by there again, and you stop by and you tell her how nice she looks today. Is that a sin? Not in and of itself. And then the next day, you send her a text. The next day, next week, whatever, some of this stuff takes time. Ladies, listen to me. Have you ever got up of a morning and you put on your clothes, guys, ladies, and you ask yourself, I wonder if they would like what I'm wearing today? Okay? And then when you get to work, you just happen to walk by their cubicle to see if they notice you. And then you say, well, let's go have lunch. Sin to eat lunch with anybody? Nah. Come on, Pastor Danny, it's just lunch. And after all, my life is just a bunch of isolated incidences, isn't it? And then you need somebody to work late at the office with you. And you make sure it's her or him. And then, of course, you start pouring out your heart to what a jerk your spouse is that you have. We'll pass on by that a little bit. And then when maybe you get back to the house and he gives you a little kiss on the cheek. And he's married. Maybe you are too. And we're going down through there. And then I want to ask you a question. Does anybody need to really ask, what's next? Do you? And if you think your life is a bunch of isolated incidences that nothing ties together, but can't you really see that this led to this, to this, to this? Can you? Can you see it when it's drawn out on a board and look like that? And you have to remember that everything you do, ladies, I said this Friday, If you send your boyfriend a text or you send somebody a text and you lean a little bit more forward than you should when you take that text, that's not an isolated incident. That's leading somewhere. Guys, when you send a girl a text that's not your wife and it's a little bit flirty or something or another, that's not an isolated incident. It's leading somewhere. And God would have you to look far enough down the horizon to say, where is this going to wind up? Where is it? Where is this going? Because you see, if you're right in here somewhere, you can look back. If you'll do it and be wise and look back and say, you know, I see a pattern here that's developing, and I'm not sure. And maybe they may say, well, why is it all of a sudden? And you say, you know what? I'm cutting this thing off. And they go, well, what's the matter? Did I do something to make you mad? No. But I don't understand. I know you won't. I'm sorry. I can't say anything. Where is your life? It doesn't just apply to this right here. Let me tell you something. There is not a person over here. I mean, you know, look, I'm going to start right here and draw back this way. There's not a person that's sitting right here in a meth clinic with their teeth rotted out of their head on the verge of death that didn't come back this way and look at different things in their life, and well, it was just started here, and it was coke here, and I was doing this here, and I was popping prescription pills here, and it started back here with this, and come on back, and when you trace it all the way back, they could honestly tell you, you know what, there was a time when I drank my first beer. Look at the patterns that you have in your life and ask yourself the question, where are they going? And it's a long ways from the time that you smoke your first cigarette till way down here at the end, the doctor tells you got stage 4 lung cancer and there's nothing they can do. There's a long time between the time you drink that first beer and long in here with a DUI, somewhere here, and the doctor tells you got cirrhosis of the liver and you're going to die. Now listen, we had a thing in the paper this week about a child that got beaten to death, right? Okay, all of you seen that right there. Did somebody ever seem to think, now that's at the end of the road for this fella, right? He's killed someone, okay? Could he have looked back over his life and started asking himself the question right here, I've got an anger issue. I've got an anger issue. And maybe this anger issue has led to me, you know what, sometimes I throw things. Sometimes I throw things at people. Sometimes I hit people. Sometimes I kill people. Do you think that happened as an isolated incident? Something took them there. I want each of you in here today to ask yourself, do I like the road that I am on, and where can I see that this is taking me? Solomon says this, my son, if you receive my words and treasure up my commandments with you, making your ear attentive to wisdom, inclining your heart to understanding, that's discernment again. Yes, if you call out for insight and raise your voice for understanding, if you seek it like silver and search for it as hidden treasures, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom, from His mouth comes knowledge and understanding, and He stores up sound wisdom for the upright. He is a shield to those who walk in integrity, and listen at this, guarding the paths of justice and watching over the way of His saints. If you will incline your ear to understanding what God is saying, and for heaven's sake, quit saying, "It won't happen to me."